last decade, Asian motorsport has grown to worldwide prominence. In 2015, it all culminates into 11 rounds of the world's finest sports cars going head-to-head on some of the world's most prestigious circuits. It all starts here in Korea, round 1 of the 2015 GT Asia Series.
This year, my feeling is so new and I really exciting for this year.
First of all, very happy to be back. It's great to start here in Korea. It's a brilliant circuit, and the series looks getting stronger and stronger again. We've got a fantastic field out here. Got a lot of factory drivers, and I think for the first time for me this year, I'm very honored to be supported by Ferrari.
Very professional team, reigning champions, so they'll be going to defend the championship this year. But I think they're in really good shape. The car's looking really good, and yeah, I just wish them all the best in the future. I'm going to do my best this weekend to get them a good result, and yeah, we'll have to see.
All right, happy to be here. I think the championship is getting stronger and stronger. This year we have a really good lineup of teams and drivers, so I think we'll have a great fun.
Year by year, this series is getting more competitive. Cars are getting newer, getting faster, more exciting.
Another tough year. I think it's even tougher than last year. We got a new sponsor this year, Interrush.
Looking forward to competing up my first full season in the championship. We have really a strong team here. Car Bamboo Racing has really prepared the cars well, and VLT is a really strong sponsor for us.
This year, GT Asia has taken another huge leap forward. Now the world's very best cars and drivers have come to compete here. Bentley, Aston Martin, Ferrari, McLaren and Porsche all want to be king here in Asia.
First of all, it's great to be back in GT Asia and to do a complete season, and Korea International Circuit is certainly a very challenging circuit. So far so good. We've been quite quick in all sessions, so we look forward now to the qualifying and the race.
This is my first ever racing in the GT series, especially in Asia.
And yeah, I think it's going to be a fantastic year. There's some good races coming up. There's very, very strong teams, good tracks, so I'm very excited.
I think it's a great time for me. I'm really happy to be joining this championship this year because it's just really at a perfect time for the championship.
I think we are in a good position to aim for a championship.
And I'm really happy to be with Hiroshi because I think, as I said, he's a really competitive driver. He's learning every time, and we can be a really strong combination.
I need to new challenge for my future. So I'm really happy to ask me to drive for the Bentley.
The opportunity came when Bentley approached Absolute Racing and we're looking to field a car, a factory car.
On then to qualifying, and for some it was a case of dusting off the cobwebs, and for others it was a brand new experience. Certainly Bentley now in for the full season. It's going to be interesting to see how they go against the Ferraris and the Aston Martins. Once again, it turned out to be a battle between Craft Bamboo Racing and Clearwater Racing. FFF Racing Team by ACM were also right up there. And of course, last year's winners, you. Looking good in BBT, but only good enough to qualify in 10th overall. But Richard Lyons in the Aston Martin was superb. And the Ulsterman took the pole position with a 206.667.
It was fantastic. Actually, I want to really thank the team, the mechanics. Last night they had to put in a lot of hard hours. We had a few technical problems with the car yesterday afternoon, but they've done a terrific job. Give us a perfect car, and wow, pole position for Interrush Team Craft Bamboo.
And that pole position by Richard Lyons has really upped the benchmark here in the series. A 206.688 around the 5.5 kilometre Yongnam circuit. Quite impressive. The top 10 teams covered by 9/10 of a second. That's how close it is. We've only just started the season. This is going to be a humdinger of the GT Asia Series in 2015 with the best ever field collected.
Yeah, it's incredible. It looks like we're going to have an incredible season ahead of us. The teams have stepped up their level of professionalism once more, and it looks like we're going to have a really competitive season. The two guys on first and second, the 200s are second apart, so you can't get closer than that. And we've got some really good professionals in now, and the other guys, even the amateurs, have upped their game and they're really driving well. And the series is just getting better and better. You know, we've got a lot more cars to come for the next round and everything. So I'm very happy with the development. The series is going really well, and yeah, it's great. And to be here in Korea again is very nice. This track is a brilliant facility, and we're all happy here. And we've got beautiful weather, so it looks like we're going to have a great day ahead of us.
Here we go then for round one of the 2015 GT Asia Series from the Korea International Circuit. On the right-hand side in the Aston Martin, Richard Lyons. On the left-hand side, the Ferrari of the new man, James Collado. But he's the wonder kid at the moment of Ferrari in WEC. And they are side by side as they head down towards the first turn, but the Aston Martin just has the lead. Collado going round the outside as we go on board with the Ferrari of Craig Baird of New Zealand. Real close quarters early on as they go down that long back straight. Seems to go on forever, and then it breaks very hard into the right-hander. And the Aston Martin has the advantage, but Collado uses the drag to get round the outside, or can he? On board with Darryl O'Young, the touch there. So O'Young goes off wide. One of the Bentleys goes wide. So drama already in the opening stages of this one. Collado side by side again with the Aston Martin. As we go on board with Andrea Caldarelli, and as these two fight it out at the front, they go wide, both of them, and Caldarelli says thanks very much. Off goes Richard Lyons into the dirt for a moment and drops down to what, third, maybe fourth place. And sure enough, the Bentley Team Absolute of number 77, Duncan Tappy, up to third place now early on. So plenty going on. Here comes Darryl O'Young again. And there's definitely some problems there with Darryl O'Young, and he comes together with Munsey there, the McLaren, going off track for a moment. And there's one of the Gulf Racing Japan cars. I think that's the 20 of Mori. And here's Max Wieser in the number 9. And Craig Baird's off, the number 12, already. And that's suspension damage we hear at turn 3. Craig Baird with right rear suspension and out of this race. And I think Darryl O'Young is not far to follow. Great overhead shots here on the Korea circuit. And they're looking concerned in Liuzzi's pit. Well, they might be, but it's Caldarelli, Collado, Tappy up to third, Lyons the pole man in fourth position, then Wieser in fifth, Varney in sixth place then, Fauzi in his first race in seventh. What an experience this is turning out to be as they go down the long straight again, and Collado will look again for the drag, but he can't do it this time. And Andrea Caldarelli in the McLaren 650S GT3 leads the way. Bentley in third place with Aston Martin. What a classic sight this is. And here comes Collado again. James Collado side by side with the McLaren and gets the better of him. Does he? No. Good defensive driving by Caldarelli. Whoa, what a dogfight between these two. Excellent stuff at over 130 miles an hour at times, if not more. But it's Caldarelli, Collado and Tappy. Good start from Duncan Tappy in the Bentley. And there's the damage to Darryl O'Young. And it looks like that suspension damage as well. Left rear suspension for the VLT Aston Martin, and he's in the pits. So game over for our former Porsche and multiple GT winner, Darryl O'Young. Finally, James Collado, he still can't do it at 3, can he? And that's good defensive driving. Plenty of grunt from that McLaren. McLaren versus Ferrari. And again, they're side by side, but onto the grass this time. Has he got by? I think he has this time. And James Collado, well, if there's any man with experience in this car, it is he. 7th in the 2014 FIA World Endurance Championship in the LMGTE Pro class, and still third driver for Force India in Formula One. That is the quality that we've got here in this championship at the moment. Now here's a look at how they came side by side, and look at this. James Collado on the grass to do the overtaking. Pretty brave at that kind of speed. So this Korean crowd being given a real thrill in this first round of the series. Long way to go yet. Long championship right round Asia. And there's Daryl O'Young just explaining what happened to cause the incident which caused him to retire from this one. And remember, in GT Asia, there has to be a compulsory pit stop. And what will happen is they will come in, change drivers from the professionals to the gentleman drivers. Well, that's a moot point these days a lot of the time because the gentleman drivers have just got so much quicker and are very close indeed to the times. And in comes Davide Rizzo, the Italian. Mott getting ready. And Anthony Liu will get into the car. Remember, these two won the race this time last year. And Anthony Liu was runner-up in the championship. So high hopes again for this Ferrari 458 GT3 from BBT. The leaders staying out as long as they can. Collado, Caldarelli and Lyons, that's your top three. Collado getting the best of the track and the best of the time on track. Hand the car to Mok Wen-sung and hopefully give him the advantage he needs to take it home. It's been a very impressive start. Richard Lyons taking the pole. We always knew that it's going to be close between Clear Order Racing and the Craft Bamboo team. And then you throw the likes of FFF Racing and the Bentley team Absolute, and it's going to be a very, very interesting season. For that matter, BBT will be a factor again, as they will be in this race. So the pit stop starting to happen. Max Visa comes in. Visa swapping to the McLaren this year for FFF Racing, team by ACM. And Collado and Tappi still circulating. They will have to pit though. And the pit stop's coming fast and furious. Aston Martin and an 88. What can Richard Lyons do? Here comes the number 11. That's Yokomiso and Bakhti. And Max Visa with a smile on his face after his stint. Here comes Lyons in the 88 Aston Martin. And this championship now becoming a testing ground for all these marques now. They bring their best drivers and their state-of-the-art cars, including this one, the Bentley Continental GT3. Jean-Claude Varnet, of course, on the podium at Macau in that car last year in the Invitational race. And here we go, the leaders starting to come in now, fast and furious. In comes Collado. Out come the mechanics. They have a set time, they have to keep to it. So many penalties given out. Whoa, that was a big moment. Richard Lyons almost running over the man looking after Andrea Caldarelli. But the FFF Racing team are in as well, and it's thumbs up. Meanwhile, Anthony Liu is out and circulating fast. And Anthony Liu is always the dark horse. He's so quick. The quiet-spoken Chinese did so well. Big surprise here last year. And Collado hardly breaking sweat. We're looking at a Formula One driver right there. Mok Wen-sung, our multiple Asian champion, heads out. Frank Yu, likewise. What a sensational season Frank had last year. And both Mok and Frank Yu have really developed as drivers in this championship, thanks to the professionals who've mentored them. And Jiang Xin now in the car, the Chinese driver, teammate to Massimiliano Visa in the McLaren. So we've pretty much shuffled through the pit stops now, and it's a race to the end with the gentleman drivers. But have the professionals done enough for their partners to do the business? And we've heard there's some strategy with the Craft Bamboo team, as it looks as though Frank Yu may have stayed on the same tyres. And while Mok tries to warm up that tyres, that he's got the new tyres, that may just give Frank Yu a chance to catch up. And Anthony Liu in third place is not that far behind, and he's putting in some very quick laps indeed. So this is going to be an interesting finish to this one. Hamaguchi is in the car for FFF Racing. And Liuzzi talking to Davide Rizzo. Obviously, Antonio Liuzzi involved in that crash. Probably not a happy man. Mok, Yu and Liu. Then Fu in 4th place. Yang in 5th. Low 6th and Jung in 7th place. And look at that! Frank Yu has got past the leader, much to the delight of his team. And the Aston Martin Vantage V12 GT3 of Craft Bamboo Racing now leads this race. And Mok Weng-sung goes down to 2nd place, and I think that's due to the tyres. Mok still getting up to heat in those tyres, and with Frank getting no change of tyres, depends whether he'll last for the race though, but that was a very smart manoeuvre, and Frank Yu picks up the lead. And Mok, though, will come good. He's just as fast as Frank for sure. Tense moments then in the Craft Bamboo pits. No more racing for Darryl O'Young in this one, but he'll be back for round 2 for sure. And it's tight. Mok's right behind him. And as the Ulsterman Richard Lyons watches on, he knows that he got right there, did Mok, just when he needed to, but good defensive driving from Frank Yu, and he holds on to the lead for now. This is going to be a drag race to the finish, but as they battle, their lap times are slowing down, and Anthony Liu is catching quick. Great battle though, side by side again. Mok looks to the inside. Defensive driving from the Aston Martin, just holding on. Well, they've raced each other around Asia for many years, these two. Both are gentlemen, as well as gentlemen drivers, but really, they're driving as well as their professional counterparts right now in these amazing cars. State-of-the-art, world-class cars. Collado watches on. Here's the overtake again. Well, it looked very easy, didn't it? And thank you very much. The Aston Martin goes through. Here was the next opportunity. And just closing the door, Frank. Perfectly legal, that. And Collado can't believe it. But they really are having a ding-dong battle out front. Just what we wanted. And again, Frank has to take defensive driving to the limit here. And this is only slowing them both down, which doesn't matter unless Anthony Liu can catch up. Hats off, though, to Frank Yu. Mok just can't get past. And that Aston Martin probably looks wider than it really is, because Frank's making it as wide as he possibly can by defending his line at every corner. And here comes Liu in the number 37. Rizzo and Liu, winners here last time out. Again, the Ferrari looks for the opportunity. The 458, perhaps at the end of its cycle. The older cars out there, but it's still as impressive as ever. It's still going very well in the World Endurance Championship and in the States of the Tudor Sports Car Championship, and here in the GT Asia Championship as well. Well, this is a cracking opening start to the season here in Korea for round 1. They have 2 rounds here in Korea and plenty more racing to come from this 2015 season. Again at the end of 3. Just can't make it happen. And Mok getting frustrated, I'm sure, and now back markers will come into play. The Bentley of Jeffrey Lee still holding on to 3rd, but Anthony Liu is looming behind him. One more attempt now by Mok, but again, great driving. Oh, has he gone too far this time? Up the inside comes Mok, he's got the lead. And the reaction says it all. Collado delighted, he put so much work into that first stint. And the team, as you can imagine, delighted with Mok's work. But he really did have to work for it, and it's not over yet by any means. Oh, look at this, Frank Yu comes back at him. They're touched, did they? And here comes the Bentley of Jeffrey Lee, and everybody sighing. This is a cracking race, and Liu's just behind. Jeffrey Lee now side by side with Frank Yu. Can't quite pull it off in the Bentley. And that's letting Mok get away. We're going to have a grandstand finish. Collado, Mok, Lyons and Yu, Rizzo and Liu. Remember, Rizzo and Anthony Liu won this race last year, almost coming out of nowhere. And they may even do it again this time. Perfect conditions for racing as they come down the main straight again. Time running out now in round 1. Blue flags being waved for the back markers. The top 4, you can throw a blanket over them, nothing between them. Mok leads for now, but now the long back straight. Here's another look. He just outbraked himself, I think, Frank Yu, trying to defend the position. And that was all that Mock needed. Through he goes. 10 times on the pit wall. At the end of 3 on the long straight, and they're still line astern. But Anthony Liu is up to 3rd. He's got past Jeffrey Lee in the Bentley, and he's now going quickly in pursuit of the Aston Martin. This is going to be a cracking finish. And here comes Liu. Dives up the inside. Will he make it stick? Yes, he does. And Anthony Liu is on the charge for sure. It's Ferrari versus Ferrari for the finish. They cross the line again. Surely now Mock is in trouble because Liu has been putting in some blistering pace. Adelaide Fong in the number 8 Bentley Continental GT3 goes through. Good manoeuvre by the man making his debut, but now it's lights blazing for the Ferrari, who comes to the outside of turn 3, tries to make it through. Mock defends. He's giving him the international sports car signal for I'm coming through, meant as an intimidation as well as a signal, because Mock can see him as clear as day. Just to emphasize the point, here comes Liu now, surely. Mock tries to defend but can't, and through goes the Chinese driver. And Davide Rizzo and the team delighted with that. Anthony Liu leads in Korea yet again, and he's going to win in Korea, and they win for the 3rd time. A fantastic race. Anthony Liu wins. Unbelievable stuff. Saved it just to the right moment. And a really strong battle between Mock and Frank Yu really allowed Anthony Liu the chance to catch up. And that's how the race panned out. But a fantastic start to our series. And Rizzo, you can imagine, delighted with that performance. It doesn't get any better than that. Anthony Liu of BBT Ferrari does it again. Confirmation of the results then. Rizzo and Liu, Collado and Mock in 2nd place. Richard Lyons, the pole man, and Frank Yu in 3rd. Riza and Xiang in 4th. Ryutsin Hamaguchi 5th, then Varney and Lee, and Tapi and Young in 7th. So congratulations again in Korea. It's their lucky event for sure. Yeongnam has been very good to them. He looks up to the stars, and well he might. Congratulations to Anthony Liu. That was a splendid drive, really was. So as they celebrate on the podium, let's head down now to the press conference and hear from the top 3.
2 laps after I got in, the radio came in, we were P3 and 15, 16 seconds. And then 2nd lap, they updated me on the pace, and seems possible. So I just went for it. And Frank and Mock was doing quite an interesting battle, I could see. And there was a very nice Bentley in front, which moved at the last minute. And luckily, these guys are professional, you know, and we always respect each other, so no contact whatsoever, and we try to have fun and do it professionally, do it courteously, and amazed to be here.
And he approached at such a big speed that I said, there's no way I'm going to try to block him. So he got by me on that first lap, and I tell you, it was a hell of a lot of fun for the next 7-8 laps. I mean, he drove incredibly, and I knew the guys on the radio were giving me the gap to Anthony behind, and I knew Anthony was going to catch us, and I had to get by Frank, but it wasn't easy. And it took probably a little bit too long, so congratulations to all my buddies over here. I think all of us had fun, and it's good to see some old faces up on the podium here.
Anyway, my tires were pretty much gone because of our battle for 7 or 8 so laps. And I did the right thing. I just didn't even give Anthony a hard time because I knew, you know, I'm not going to be able to hold him off for another 3 laps because my car was like already starting to slide everywhere.
So congratulations to BBT Racing as Liu and Rizzo do it again in Korea. What a great start to the 2015 GT Asia Championship. Long way to go yet, and a lot more racing to come. The next round 2, will be also here at Yeongnam Korea International Circuit. And if round 1 is anything to go by, let's hope round 2 is just as good. Now they are dialed in. Congratulations once again to Rizzo and Liu. They win again in Korea. From me, Jonathan Green, and all involved at Motorsport Asia. Join us next time for round 2.